Hello, and welcome to the Dr. Crystal Show. I'm Dr. Crystal, and today I would be continuing from my talk about gratitude. As we all know, this is the season of Christmas, the season of love, and I first shared about gratitude and just talked about certain things that we could be grateful for. I think I gave about 31 things to be grateful for, and so I just wanted to just make this like a sequel from that. So welcome, and if you haven't watched the previous one, can I please ask that after watching this, if you can please watch the other one, the one before this, if that's something you can do, and I'll be so grateful. And if you've watched the other one and it blessed you in any way, can you please subscribe? Can you share? Can you leave your comments? And can you just be a part of this community? Because it will give me the opportunity to keep growing and to keep doing what I love to do. So today we'll just go right into it. And today I'll be talking about the benefits of a life of gratitude. So, what are some of the benefits of a life of gratitude? One of them is just peace. As in, when we're grateful, when we choose gratitude as a way of life, we just realize that whatever storm comes our way, whatever life brings our way, we just find reasons. We just find, even if we're not thankful for what happened, we're just actively looking for things to be grateful about. And it just makes us beautiful people of gratitude. Have you seen people that have been through, issues of life, and you're like, how can this person still be smiling? We just become attractive because we attract what we celebrate. So when we're people of gratitude, we just attract positivity, that energy. We attract like-minded people, people of gratitude. And how beautiful is that to have community of just positive people in our corner? I think that's a beautiful thing. And I will want that for you. I want that for me too. And then basically, we also multiply what we acknowledge. Have you seen people that have something and acknowledge it and it just grows? We actually multiply what we acknowledge, what we pay attention to. So I think I would plead with us to just multiply just joy, gratitude. And also when, we actually choose and create our reality. That brings me to my next point. Like, irrespective of what our reality really is, we've probably heard of, is not the water around the ship that sinks it, but the water within it. Like, irrespective of the uproar or whatever is going around, in the world, in our sphere of influence, in our environment, if we choose gratitude, it's like we go and reset the GPS of our lives and we just see things differently. It's so beautiful to see things from the lens of gratitude, in my opinion, because they just shape us, they just toughen us, they just make us master, you know, rather than make our circumstances masters. And I think that's such a beautiful thing to know that we are in charge, because life is so fickle, life is so unpredictable, life is so beautiful, but it can also be so painful that we can't just determine life to shape the course. We can't just let life decide how we respond to everything. I think that would be unfair on us. I think if we have our default set on gratitude, when things happen around us, we don't ignore them. We don't make light of the situation, but we just choose, just just make a list and then just choose something in everything to be grateful for. And I think that's such a beautiful opportunity to have. But we can't have it until we're intentional about having it. And then something else is, if we choose gratitude, the truth is that we would always have something to be thankful for. That's just the truth. If your default setting is gratitude, there will always, and I know I sound like I'm a master in this, but I'm not. See, I used to have, while I was in the university, I had several circles of friends. So I had circle of friends here. So some of them didn't probably know each other, but I had several circle. And there was this particular friend that was my constant friend from my 100 level till we graduated. and she's still my friend now. We're in different geographical regions of the world, but yet we still make time to video call, time to chat, time to remind ourselves of the importance of our friendship. And this girl was so peaceful. She is so peaceful. Like, to be honest, I think there was a time he actually even used to irate me. I'm like, how can somebody be so peaceful? Like, it doesn't, like, she just has to be pretending it, or she just has to be faking it, or she just has to be doing this to upset. You know, when you're someone that is not always peaceful, you think people are doing things to upset you. Like, I was so sure, like, how could you be so unbothered about things that should bother you? And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to make us people that are just placid, or people that are just, just, you know, just passive. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying when we choose gratitude, we choose power. That's just the truth. Like, for example, something can happen. Maybe we wrote an exam and we failed. Obviously, there's nothing to be grateful for about failing an exam. But if you have the opportunity to write that exam again, then that's something to be grateful. We can be grateful for the gift of second chances. If, for example, we failed the exam and we've been chucked out of the program, we can be grateful that we even got to the level we got to be able to write that exam. And so we've probably heard the story about a car company that crashed to zero. And maybe they were speaking to the MD or the boss or the owner, and he's like, okay, my company crashed to nothing, but I'm going to build this company again because yes, my assets, my money, my financial, crashed. But what didn't crash is the intellect, the strength, the hard work, the positivity, the determination to get there. You get my point? That there's always something that we can be grateful for. And I think the benefit of that is that we're not left down in the corridors of life. We're not left broken in the battlefields of life. We're not left hopeless when storms come, because they don't knock that they're coming. They don't, hello, I'm giving you an invitation, a storm is coming tomorrow. Life just happens. And when we have gratitude, choosing gratitude is like having a reserve for your fuel, and when you're on red, you can still go in. You can still keep going until you're able to fill your tank again. I think choosing gratitude, I'm learning to choose gratitude because it doesn't come natural. I'm that person that would look for what is wrong. I'm sorry to admit this, rather than look for what is right. Oh, I remember one time, I can't remember what I was discussing with my mom, and she's like, oh, why are you being a pessimist? Like, honestly, I used to be that person that would see the glass half empty than half full. But something changed in me. Something is still changing in me. And that has given me strength, unexplainable strength, indefatigable strength, inexhaustible strength. Like, there's just something that keeps fueling, keeps keeping, me on that pace. And choosing gratitude is something I sincerely wish I knew earlier. It would have changed a lot of things about how I saw myself, about the image I gave of others, of how I even deserved to be treated. When you choose gratitude, you have this aura that just like a perfume, like a beautiful perfume, it gives people permission, to also choose gratitude in their own life, especially when you're honest and they realize that your life is nothing close to perfect. Also, when we choose gratitude, the benefit is that we see beyond how things truly are. We see how things can be. For example, I'm sorry I keep using this example, but I waited for a child. And I know there are people that, even before your husband threw the boxers on you, Idime, you got pregnant. I wish that was my story, but I know that for so many people, they are still in the waiting room. Rather than crying every day you see your menstrual period, why don't you have a mental picture of the dedication for your daughter or your son? Because it will happen. Just don't it tarry, wait for it, my sister, my brother. You know, what if you think of names? Oh, my husband had names till today. I don't know how he comes up. He came up with names before. Just story for another day. But how do you have names? Like, how do you have, like, just have names that this will be called this, or you're in school, you've written JAMP year after year. For those that know, for those that are from my beloved country and know what JAMP is, you've written it, or you've written that entrance exam. You've been denied that admission. And why don't you think of when you will walk down that stage with your graduation gown and cap? It will happen. Oh, yeah, me. It will happen. So why choosing gratitude gives you a picture to your preferred future? Like it just sets it for you. And I think that's power. That's power. And I want to be powerful, especially over my own life. And then also, gratitude, makes us unfazed about the issues and circumstances of life. As in, you can decide in advance how you react to it. Like, there are things that would happen as long as we are alive. There are days of celebration and there are days of mourning. There are days to plant the seed and there are days to reap the harvest. There are days of joy and there are days of tears. See, these things will happen. You can forbid them, you can rebuke them, but the reality of life is that there's a beginning and end to every season. When the end of a season comes, you can choose before it happens how you want to react to it. And I'm not talking about foolish gratitude. I don't think there's anything like foolish gratitude, but for those that think there is, if I, for example, think of how I want my 70s to be, my 30s, right? If I think of how I want my 70s to be, I can choose to work hard so that when I'm in my 70s, I'm living in my own house rather than renting, rather than, like, there's an Igbo proverb, I don't think I say it well enough, but if you think you want a particular life, choosing gratitude can be making plans for that life. Also, you find strength to carry on. That's one of the beautiful benefits of gratitude. In your season of adversity, you find strength to carry on. Also, you're an example. See, whatever journey whatever journey you're going through, whatever road you're walking through, people have gone through that road before you. People are going through that road. People are still going to pass through that road. How would it be if you decide to be a beacon of gratitude, a beacon of hope, a beacon of an example, a light for those that would actually have the same story like you? Gratitude puts you on a pedestal that ingratitude can never put you on. What are some of the disadvantages or setback if we're not people of gratitude? Number one, opposite, we just become cranky, bitter, complaining, ungrateful. Have you actually been around people like that? Like, they drain your energy. No, let's just say the truth. They just drain your energy. Like, you're like, how can someone be so negative? How can someone see the darkness in every light? There are people like that. And permit me to say, They did not plan to be like, see, when life happens to you, let's leave it. Number 2, missed opportunities. See, if you refuse to make lemonade from the lemons of your life, the process of making lemonade is an opportunity. If you're focused on all the lemons, the people that are proponents of making lemonades will go far higher. They'll be preferred, they'll be desired. They will have this aura. There will be something about them. So all I just want to say is, if we can please be people that just make the opportunity from every missed opportunity. And it's possible. It's not easy, but it's possible. One of the disadvantages of gratitude is that we begin to compare ourselves to others. Oh, had I known, why did this befall me? Who should it have befallen? Like, I'm not saying this should have happened to you, but there's a reason. There is a reason. And you might not understand the reason in this your lifetime while such happened to you. I don't even think you deserve it. But you start comparing yourself, that person you're comparing yourself to, you really don't know the picture of their own life. You don't even know the picture of your complete picture of anybody's life. That's just the truth. Even the person that you live with in the house. Because there's a reason you can't see people's hearts. There's a reason you are not omnipotent. You are not omniscient. You're not omnipresent. There's a reason. However sagacious you are best limited in your knowledge. So don't compare yourself to people's life, because your path is not the same. However easy somebody else's life may seem to appear like, it's their life, it's not yours. Just focus on your own life. And that's easy for me to say. But to be honest, I've had times where I compare myself with others. I'm like, why does it have to be so hard for me to get this thing when this person does not even want it? But what did I now give me the thing and take it away from the person? No. So just stop it, actually. And then why subject my life to perpetual unhappiness, perpetual sadness, if the journey was going to be 1 year in the wilderness? Whether I complain every day of the wilderness of my life, or I smile every day, the journey will clock the 1 year. Why don't I do what I have power to do? Which is, I'm not going to wake up grumpy. I'm just not going to wake up grumpy. I want to like myself. And I don't think I want to be a grumpy version of myself. And there are seasons to these things. It's okay if I'm grumpy for 1 week, maybe. It's okay maybe if I'm grumpy for a couple of days, but grumpy for my whole life. Come on. Like, I deserve better. Even I am not allowed to make myself grumpy for the rest of my life. How much more circumstances of life? Then also, the disadvantages of being ungrateful perpetually is that we would spend our life, waiting for the perfect time of happiness, which might never come. Have you seen people that procrastinate their happiness? Maybe I'll be happy tomorrow if this happens, when this happens. It probably might never even happen. What if? Thank you, Jesus, that I have a child. Thank you, Jesus, that I would have children that surround my table. Thank you, Jesus, that I have a job. Thank you that I have good health. But what if that sickness that somebody experienced was going to lead to death and they had 6 more months to live? How sad that is. But will I rather spend that 6 months being miserable? The 6 months will come. Or will I spend that 6 months making a will, speaking to the people I want about how things should continue when I'm not here, traveling around to see the world, me that like holiday, making beautiful friendships and letting them know, okay, it's only going to last 6 months. But you get my point. Just do what it's in your power to do. So postponing your happiness and postponing gratitude is like a circle that you might never actually get to. Also, you know, you probably fail to identify areas in your life that you can actually grow, that you can actually make impacts. And then, yeah, things don't change because we're ungrateful. I already said that. We attract the wrong people. That's just the truth. Because if you're miserable people, have you seen people that are just horrible people? And I'm not saying anybody's horrible, but you get my point. And they just maybe move into a new neighborhood or move into a new class. They just locate themselves. They didn't put a signboard, but you see that those there's it's just magnets, and then you repel beautiful people. Because you see me like this, I'm trying to be grateful. I've not yet mastered it though. I'm trying to be grateful. I'm trying to be good, because if you leave me like this, I probably will just go and look for darkness and just be ungrateful about all the things that can happen, even things that have never happened. If you leave me like this, I will go and even look for the things that can even happen and go wrong. So I will now see somebody that is like that. I will now make you my bestie. As in, don't I like myself? So I will probably, I will go and look for people that, so you just repel positive energy people, while that's actually what you need. So you can just even pretend to be a grateful person, because we can fake it until we make it. You can even pretend to be somebody that is happy, even if in your room and in your own heart, the people can see your heart. So you can just pretend, so that at least by the time people that are truly grateful, come to you, you can even learn from them. Because that's what I did a lot of times. So, how can we be people of gratitude? Number one, we just have to make that decision to be people of gratitude. It's as simple and as hard as that. Number two, we need to practice it. I already said that. Fake it to make it. Number three, we need to unlearn gratitude. When you wake up in the morning and you're already used to your mind, it's like a program. Mindset default is already programmed to look for what to be ungrateful for. Let's just say, see, Tata, today, I'll look for something that I'm grateful for. And we can do it. And then also be patient with ourselves. See, we didn't get to this level of being ungrateful if we are overnight. We can't declutter it and then become grateful overnight. It might take months, it might take years, but the most important thing is that we decide to start that journey. Reach out for help. Watch people, speak to people, seek help. Be intentional. Make a list of things that we're grateful about. Helping other people find their own way to gratitude can be very therapeutic for us. I remember I had this patient who was going through maybe depression. If we don't know what depression is, it's just a state of low mood, unhappiness, ingratitude. Everything is going wrong. You've lost motivation for life. And I can't remember what her health, what the case was, but I think it was a mental health case. And she talked about how she started volunteering maybe in the hospital. And when she did that, it was pivotal to her own healing. And it was just so humbling for me, because I already knew it, but hearing somebody else testify, hearing someone's own story just rekindles our own. And I was just like, okay, because sometimes maybe if you're someone that likes to help people or into charity or into love, sometimes you think you're just wasting your time and people don't even value it. But do it for you. Go out today and just look for people in your community, in your family, in your friends, the people that are going through difficult times, just reaching out to them and be like, hey, how are you? I just wanted to check up on you. Can actually give you that second of forgetting your own sad reality. Because really, 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 the world doesn't revolve around any of us. And I'm surprised I'm saying this to myself, because sometimes I think, okay, the world should revolve around me, but it doesn't, sadly. Whatever happens to you, the night would come and the day would come. Like, life doesn't stop because of you. However magnanimous our situations are, we're just in the size of this world and in the bigger picture of things. Yeah, so I already said it before about not comparing yourself. But can I give us permission to just go around the hospital ward? Look at people that have lost basic functioning of their lives, of their mind. and then we would find things to be thankful for. And then also think of the option. Sometimes when I want to do something and it's very hard, I think of the option. Like sometimes when I want to work hard and I think of what a life of laziness, and I'm like, okay, let me just work hard, not because I like hard work, but because I don't like laziness. Sometimes being grateful is not because we really, really like it, but think of actually just picture a life of ingratitude. And in the season of Christmas, we can just choose to be grateful for the season. What are some of the things that can steal our gratitude if we're already people of gratitude? I already talked about it. So, in summary, comparison, lack of humility. I think we're not teachable. We're just proud. We think we own the world. We walk with our shoulders really high. We despise the days of little beginnings. As in, we despise like, why am I still here? Why is, we don't even know sometimes the hard work other people have put in to get to where they are. Or, okay, confession time. I'm trying to start this YouTube channel. Um, and obviously I'm trying to do loads of videos just to post, like batching them. And there was somebody that just started her YouTube channel. And I just watched it yesterday and she's had like over 2,000 subscribers. I think she's had over like 4,000 watch time. So I'm like, so you mean from what she said from her introductory video, I don't know this person in person, so but I know this person by extension, but not directly. It sounded like she was even talked into doing the YouTube channel. So knowing a little about this person, she has already the structure in place to probably edit, to probably, so like my point is, I was just thinking of, but she's probably putting her own hard work for up to over 2,000 subscribers in less than how long? She's probably putting all that hard work behind the scenes. My point is, just start your journey. Don't look at, and in the world of social media now, there's that ease to compare yourselves. No matter how the best of us, there's always someone better and someone that we're better off than. Just if you're going to compare yourself to someone lower than you, let it be to lift them up. If you're going to compare yourself to someone better than you, let it be to draw inspiration from them, not to bring that jealousy, competition, because you rob yourself of the opportunity to be a blessing to someone else. And then you rob yourself of the opportunity for someone else to be a blessing to you. So you get my point by now. Not seeing the bigger picture. That's one of the thieves of gratitude. You just don't see the bigger picture. You just think this is the end. And I'm sorry I keep using this example, but that's what happens when, something really horrible happens to us, whatever it is. You just think this is the end, but it's not the end. It's not the end, except you choose. I know of, I hear of people. I remember being in the psychiatric ward for about 6 months, managing patients. You hear of people that commit suicide. You hear of people that make it their own end. But it was their end because they chose. It was their end. Sadly, I know life can be so. Sometimes when I hear what people go through, I'm like, really, how can someone go through something like this? But if we can just maybe just be hopeful for my previous video, that maybe, just maybe, there's light tomorrow. We might find the courage to move on. And then surrounding ourselves with the wrong people. See, don't be deceived. Bad company corrupts good manners. A man is not an island. Who we listen to, especially the voices that speak in our lives, they have an impact. And it's our duty to choose those voices before we need them. Because many times we might not be actually be able to decipher or pick which shouldn't be at the low point of our lives. And then just refusing to learn, see, relearn. Some people are just stuck in a rut, fixed in their own opinion, completely unteachable. And they can't actually see that things can change. They don't believe things can change. And sometimes change starts from us. Conclusion, as I complete this gratitude message, I want to encourage all of us to actually choose gratitude. I hope with this point of mine, have been able to convince us and not confuse us, to choose gratitude. This reminds me of debate in like secondary school, right? But you get my point. Let's just, it's the only option. The other option is not palatable. And at the end of everything, with gratitude, we already have a winner's mindset and we will win. So, in this season of celebration, in this season of hope, in this season of love, in this season of the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ, this season of love, the message, and everything that Christmas signifies, I hope we choose love. I hope we choose healing. I hope we choose gratitude. And I hope that we make ourselves, our family, our community a better place. Thank you so much. And I hope you watch the next video on the screen. Subscribe, like, share. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. 2026 is going to be an amazing year. And 2025, thank you, and thank you.